7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. And now, Sholo Ford presents local sports on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Little League Baseball Major Division presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 1067 FM, KNKI, Pine Top, Sholo, and on 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopeniki communication station. This is Brian Lang, and we got the Ashlyn Smith taking over for her dad here because, you know, he's just going to sit at home and listen to us, and probably from his recliner, right?
Definitely from his recliner.
Okay. All right. Well, we have started. We had some technical difficulties. Round Valley taking on White Mountain Apaches from White River. Round Valley is the visiting team, and they are up at the moment 3-0 with no outs here in the top of the first. I'll get that here. There's a first pitch called strike to Ace Finch. This is Reed Whitaker. Whitaker with a 1-1 count. Wade Webb is who you see over there at third base. Trake Finch led off with a single and has scored. Carson Crick was hit by a pitch and scored. And then Noah Puzis. Did I say that right one? Noah's.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe I did. We went and asked, and I'm hoping I have remembered correctly, as Webb comes scampering across on the wild pitch. And then now, so Wade Webb had a double and an RBI and has now scored. And now Whitaker has got a 2-ball, 1-strike count here with Round Valley leading 4-0. And if you're looking to start your college education, do it with your hometown college with the lowest tuition in the state, now offering a bachelor's degree program in education and business. That's Northland Pioneer College. We're going to get into our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Here's the pitch, and there's a line shot right back up the box for Reed Whitaker. So, Ashlyn, any injuries as you were talking to these coaches today?
Right, when I was talking to both the coaches, they both said that no injuries for either team, so that's an awesome way to start these playoffs.
That is good news, as this is the first round of the Major Division All-Star Tournament here in Round Valley. We'll get into that tournament here in a bit, as that is our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Again, Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Ace Hardware, keys to the game. Ace Hardware is a 24/7 locksmith. Next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. Here's the pitch. Fastball right by Ace Finch for strike one. Action for Round Valley. I know this game started, they're up 4-0.
Right.
What are the keys? What are the keys for them to continue this hot start and then get the victory today?
Yeah, so I think we've already seen them come out pretty hard with their hitting, and I know that the coach talked about that, how that was a goal for them to just come out swinging hard and, you know, not letting too many balls go by. And so just being aggressive up to bat for sure is going to be huge for them.
Another swing and a miss for Ace Finch. Now, what about for the boys from White River and this White Mountain Apache team? What are the keys for them to now get out of this deficit and get back into this thing?
Yeah, so they've definitely they're working on their pitcher. They just switched their pitcher out, and so they're trying to get their pitcher a little bit more speed on underneath the ball and make it a little more difficult for the Round Valley Elks to be able to hit.
Awesome insight there, Ashton. There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball to Ace Finch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So that's our Ace Hardware keys to the game. Again, Ace Hardware has that 24/7 locksmith. If you ever get locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Beauregard, and Show Low. And there is the first out as Ace Finch goes down swinging.
We have number 20, Jet.
And this is going to be Jet Finch. He's playing center field today for Round Valley, runner on third. Here's the pitch. And there's a ball high. Let's see what number 17 for. This is Tedeshosh is now from shortstop into pitch. And there's a ball thrown in the dirt past the catcher. And Whitaker is going to come across for the 5th run of the first. And Finch, Jet Finch, with a 2-ball, no strike count, good hitters count. Round Valley team, Ashley, as you were saying, has been aggressive on those fastballs. Sorry, folks, you missed the first few batters, but there were some absolute lasers with the first couple batters.
Definitely got a lot out into the outfield, which was good. Got some doubles. Excellent way to start the game.
Here's the windup and the pitch. There's a strike called. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Still a good hitters count here for Jet Finch. So Round Valley has 14 players on their roster. There's a swing and a miss. All of them are in the lineup. So everyone will be hitting. And then the coaches will just move players around defensively. So we might not know all of the defensive changes because they don't have to go to an umpire and do substitutions as they're putting every player in the lineup. Talking to some coaches and listening around the park is Little League has a rule for playing. You have to have so many plate appearances, so many innings played, and if you bat your entire lineup, it's just one less thing to worry about. They just all are gonna hit. There's a bunt attempt off from first base. Goes Jet Finch, and that ball's thrown into center field. Finch with a stolen base, and he's gonna come all the way around and score as that ball ended up into center field as Asher Rogers squared around the bunt looking for the sacrifice. And then Jet Finch took off, and we've now got a 6-0 ball game here in the top of the first. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike called in that inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Ball outside. So our umpires today behind the plate, Quinn Ashton. Quinn does a lot of officiating for our high school athletes around the area, for the younger kids in the St. John's Round Valley area as their strike 2 called. And then he has looks like a high school, junior high girl with him. I don't know her name, but she is on the bases as they're trying to help get some of these kids involved as well. So probably one of the kids that's been around St. John's that's umpired some other Little League or maybe some junior high stuff getting involved. So that is good to see. There's a ball high, and that's going to walk. Asher Rogers trots on down to first.
Number 22, William.
And that's going to bring up the first baseman, William McBride. McBride, number 22, right-handed hitter. Digs in, he's got the lightning bolt batting gloves. Takes that pitch, called strike, throw down as Rogers goes down, ball gets by. So Rogers gets a stolen base and a strike called to William McBride. Now Elk's got another runner in scoring position. Again, leading 6-0 here in the top of the first.
Looks like they're having some difficulty with the base out there.
Oh, it's one of those, it's a safety base, so it just sits on top of a platform. So when you slide into it, it's just gonna automatically,
right out.
Yeah, it's just gonna pop off. So these kids that are learning how to slide aren't gonna break ankles or whatnot. But if the base does pop off, you are considered safe as long as you just stay right around that little platform area that's underneath it. And there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball for strike 2. Other than the wind, it's a beautiful day here in St. John's. Some clouds in the sky, not overly hot. There's a swing and a miss as McBride goes down swinging for out number 2. wind blowing left to
Batting
right
number
here.
55, Bennett.
So for you that are watching, it's blowing from left field to right field. So anything up in the air, right center over, has a chance to carry and get out of here possibly for that Comfort Fit Dentures home run. As Bennett DeWitt squares around, pulls back, as that ball goes back to the backstop. So again, we'll see if we can get any of those Comfort Fit Dentures home runs, those Smile Comfort Fit Dentures. Here's the pitch. Ball high. 2 balls, no strikes. You can hear the wind through our microphones as there's a foul tip right back into the glove for strike 1. So if you're new to baseball, that foul tip that goes directly back into the catcher's mitt stays a live ball. And that ball gets past the catcher, and the speedy Rogers showing off his speed there as Asher comes around and scores on the wild pitch.
That can always be stressful as a catcher, making sure that those balls go straight to your glove, that they don't get behind you at all.
Yeah, and at this age, it's hard to teach kids that that ball doesn't hurt by letting it hit you in the chest protector and blocking it.
Right.
There's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball by Bennett DeWitt. Pitcher's getting his sign, wind up, and delivers. That ball is over the catcher's head for a walk. 2 outs here, top of the first. Round Valley up 7-0 with a runner on first, and this is going to bring up Elias Baca.
Batting number 2, Elias.
Baca, number 2 on the back of his jersey. Here's the windup and the pitch. Elias jucks out of the way of that one. Snap throw back over to first. Safe as DeWitt gets back in safely on the snap throw back. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike called right there on that outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paxton Elmer waiting his turn on deck. Ball inside. There are 2 sections of this bracket. One is being played here, and one is being played in Flagstaff. So we get to that bracket here in a second. There's a rocket just foul for a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball down that left field line. And they even up the count to 2 balls and 2
Go ahead and
strikes.
turn down the FX mic. It's too much.
Yep, he's swinging a little bit too early on that one. But he's got good contact, so if he can fix that, he's got a solid hit.
There's a swing and a miss for strikeout and out number 3. And that's going to do it here in the bottom of the first. As Round Valley scores 7, we're going to the bottom of the first. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League Baseball, the Majors Division on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Going live to 1. 1 is live.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, as this is the first round of the Majors Division All-Star Tournament presented by Sholo Ford here on iTalk 1067, iTalk1067.com. Round Valley leads off in the bottom of, or the top of the first, puts up 7. The White Mountain Apaches from White River coming to bat here in the bottom of the first. This is our first game of our doubleheader tonight. Again, Round Valley and the White Mountain Apaches. Game 2 tonight will be St. John's versus Silver Creek, which Silver Creek is a mix of kids from Snowflake and Taylor. That will be our 7:30 game tonight. And then we're back here tomorrow. 7:30 will be the Mountain Pines Little League, which is Blue Ridge Sholo kids. We'll get the winner of St. John's and Silver Creek. And then we will have a losers bracket game, it looks like, at 5 o'clock between the two losers of this game. The loser of this game and the St. John's Silver Creek game will play tomorrow at 5. The other side of the bracket in Flagstaff, you have Flagstaff that plays Winslow, Holbrook plays Payson, and so those are the 4 over there for proximity of travel. So that is our bracket for this Majors division, and then they all meet up over here next week as the winners would advance and go. As there's a first pitch hit batter as Bentley goes down to first as he is hit by a pitch. And this is on the mound, Reed Whitaker for Round Valley. There's strike call to Hunter B. Hitting second here for there's a pop fly going to be in the infield. It's going to stay fair. Third baseman's under it and makes the catch, battling the wind, as that's a fly out to the third baseman for out number 1. And that's going to bring up the 3-hitter Tedejos.
Number 17, Tadash.
Tedejos started out at shortstop and then came in relief in that first inning on the mound. And again, Reed Whitaker with the windup and the pitch. Strike 1 called right down the middle from Whitaker. Runner on first as Bentley was hit by a pitch. And there's a ball driven to right center past the right fielder. That ball one hops the fence, relay in, and Tedejos with a double, and Bentley moves over to third. What a rocket by Tedejos for the double.
Batting number 69, Kedrick.
And that's going to bring up Cedric. Here's the pitch from Whitaker. Nice pitch on the inside corner, swung through and missed for strike 1.
All right, pan left to right.
Whitaker with the pitch. Nice dig there from the catcher from Round Valley. Catcher today is Noah Pusis. And that ball's hit out to right field. Right fielder shading into the gap, and that's going to get by him. 1 run is in. Here comes Tedejos around, and Cedric with a 2 RBI double. And now the White Mountain Apaches have something going.
Batting number 55, Carter.
As both those guys, Tedejos and Cedric, put their name in the hats for that Deemer's glass-shattering hit of the game.
That was a beautiful hit all the way to the back fence.
Yeah, there's nothing better than when a baseball player that can hit the ball to the opposite field or go oppo. It's a great thing. Nice dig there by Noah. Cedric ends up at third, and this is going to bring up number 55, Carter, with Hunter T waiting his turn on deck. There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
And something that the coach had talked about with his team is just making sure that they're swinging at all the good balls and not letting anything go by that could have been playable.
There's a ground ball hit over the second baseman. Second baseman gets through his legs. Another run across as Cedric scores. Carter gonna reach on the air. And now brings up Hunter T. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. As White Mountain Apaches have 3 runs across. It's a ball outside and low for ball 1. Here's the windup and the pitch from Whitaker. Ball's low in the dirt. Nice stop there again by Noah for ball 2. Wind up from Whitaker and the pitch, and there's a ball hit again out to the right center as this group from White River is hitting the ball with authority the other way. Single there, moves Carter up the second.
Number 8, DeMarcus.
And that's going to bring up DeMarcus. DeMarcus starting in center field today. Runner in scoring position. 1 out here with runners on first and second. Fastball high for ball 1. Here's a pitch from Whitaker. There's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball for strike 1 as that one caught the catcher and the umpire. Yeah, this is, go ahead.
White Mountain Apache has been pretty consistent about hitting their balls into right field, which has been fun to see.
Very consistent, very aggressive on the first good pitch that they have seen. They have taken some massive hacks, and there's another one. Just missed on a foul tip into the glove for strike 2. Again, this is game 1 of a doubleheader tonight here in St. John's. Ball's low in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the first. Game 2 tonight, St. John's versus the boys of Silver Creek from Snowflake Taylor as DeMarcus goes down swinging for out number 2. And that's going to bring up number 99. Tough. That's a great name. Tough. Got a great number on and a great name. Whitaker with the pitch as that ball's low and inside for ball 1. And then we're back tomorrow. A loser's bracket game at 5 o'clock, and then a winner's bracket game at 7:30. And that ball low for ball 2. So again, the loser of this game and the loser of St. John's Silver Creek, there's a half-hearted swing as he tried to hold up for strike 1, will play tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then we'll be right here again with that winner's bracket of St. John's versus Silver Creek. St. John's winner will play the Mountain Pines team from Show Low and Blue Ridge, as there's strike 3 looking as Whitaker sits tough down. We're going to go to the top of the second. 7-3 is our score. Round Valley leads. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars Major Division on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share? You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Over.
1, going live to 2.
Welcome.
I don't know any idea what's going on.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, as this is the host of the top portion of the bracket of the major All-Stars presented here by Sholo Ford on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. We're going to the top of the second. Round Valley leads the White Mountain Apaches 7-3, and if you're looking to start your college education, go do it at the hometown college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College. They're now offering bachelor degree programs in education and business. Go check them out. I also think they're doing some free classes this summer. If I remember right, you can go take a class for free.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Go get like English 101 or something out of the way and done for no cost.
My sister's taking English 101 right now with NPC, and she loves it.
Fantastic. I have one of my my youngest daughters taking some classes in Snowflake at NPC, so she's loving that too. So shout out to NPC. Go Eagles. We just need them to get some sports back.
Yes.
I've heard great stories about their basketball team way back in the day, well before your time, well before I was even up here. But apparently they had a national ranked JUCO basketball team. They played in Holbrook's their old junior high gym.
Wow.
So here's the windup and the pitch, starting off the second inning. Got our first lefty of the game for Round Valley, Paxton Elmer. Again, Round Valley has 14 kids in their lineup. All of them will hit, as that's a Little League rule. So everybody is in the lineup, everybody is playing. They will just substitute people around as the defensive positions as the coaches see fit. As there's a ball outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. So again, we might not know defensive positions, or more than likely we're not gonna know. Just for the fact they don't have to come to an umpire. Nobody's doing substitutions. Both these teams have every one of their kids just in the lineup. As there's a ball hit to the third baseman. Third baseman throws across the diamond. Great play, great throw there from the third baseman, Carter, for the White Mountain Apaches. Number 55, Carter.
Batting number 9, Carter.
Throws out Elmer at first. And now he brings up Carter Curtis. He scores around the bunt, and that's a foul ball in the box as it hits him for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. Again, great play over there by Carter at third. Down, throws a strike straight across the diamond for out number 1. Squares around a bunt again. He did offer at that. Umpire signals strike 2. Good crowd on hand for this opening game here in St. John's. And that ball is a little up, says the umpire, for ball 1. I can only imagine actually the next round being Snowflake and the hometown host St. John's, that this place has the opportunity to be packed.
Oh, for sure.
Ball 2. There are some bleachers down the line that we can't see past the first base dugout that has some people in it, but I'm not sure how full they are at the moment. There's ball 3 high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count.
Snowflake always brings in a really big crowd, so that'll be a fun game.
Yeah, I've already had a buddy text me that was listening in asking, and there's strike 3 called to Carter Curtis for out number 2, asking if we were doing all the games. He came in after we were talking about that. And so Snowflake people will surely be tuning in for those that can't make it over here, as there's a ball thrown behind Peyton Finch for ball 1. And then, of course, the hometown St. John's Redskins will be packing this place to support their boys here in their first round game against the boys from Silver Creek. Here's the windup and the pitch. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Two outs here, 2 quick outs for Round Valley. There's a ground ball right back to the pitcher, snags it on the backhand, throws it over the first, and that is going to be a 1-2-3 inning as the White Mountain Apaches keep the score 7-3. We're going to the bottom of the second. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of Major All-Stars here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Are you underwater on your trade and you're wondering what it's worth? Well, come on in and let us make the process easy. We will appraise your trade, give you the most for it, and now has never been a better time to trade your vehicle for a newer pre-owned vehicle here at Horn Auto Center.
I have bought 6 cars from Horn Auto Center. They always have a great deal, and they always take care of me and don't pressure me in any way of getting something that might not work best for me or my family. This would be the only place I would actually go in Show Low.
We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
If you're young and look like that.
Correct. I mean,
at Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Live to 1.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Show Low Ford's presentation of Major All-Stars here on iTalk 106.7, iTalk106.7.com. First round, first game of the tournament of the top portion of the bracket. Again, the other portion of the bracket is being held in Flagstaff. Between Flagstaff, Winslow, Holbrook, and Payson are that direction. And then the winners of that bracket will migrate themselves this way starting on Saturday, I believe. I'll get that bracket again here in a second. And that's going to bring up, leading off is Arvilo. There's a strike 1 called as Whitaker pitching for Round Valley today. Yes, the 30th will be the winner's bracket final over here in St. John's at 7:30. Again, that will be the winner's bracket, undefeated team coming out of this portion of the bracket, and then the portion of the bracket that's being played over in Flagstaff. As the wind is picking up. As there's out number 1 on the strikeout swinging. And that's going to bring up
batting number 12, Alice.
Number 12, Alice. I believe it's Elias. I believe it's Elias. Number 12. Talking to their coaches. Pretty sure Elias. We're going to go with Elias.
Sure, Elias.
Late on that one for strike number 1. I think it's 1 ball, 1 strike. A big cut there for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strike to count. Here in the bottom of the second, White Mountain Apaches trail Round Valley 7-3 as Elias goes down looking.
Batting number
out
2,
number 2.
Kyron.
And that's going to bring up number 2, Kyron. Kyron, right-handed hitter. Ducks out of the way, backs out for ball 1.
This pitcher's doing a great job. He's already struck out two players. What a great way to come back after the Apaches had just gotten 3 outs on them pretty quickly.
Yeah, Round Valley went 1, 2, 3. Scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first, and right now Whitaker settling in here with the bottom portion of the lineup as he struck out the first 2. And now I believe it's a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Maybe 2 balls, 2 strikes now. I'm trying to see. 2-2 was correct. Here's the windup from Whitaker and the pitch. Jugs out of the way of that one for full count. Full count. Whitaker trying to show the White Mountain Apaches what you can do, I can also do with a 1, 2, 3 inning. And we'll find out here on this next pitch. And there it is, called strike 3 as they go 1, 2, 3. We're going to the top of the 3rd. Round Valley leads 7-3. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Sholo Ford's presentation of Major All-Stars here in St. John's, Arizona on iTalk 106.7, iTalk106.7.com.
Batting number 5, Trig.
Getting ready to lead off the top of the 3rd, Trig Finch. And again, if you're looking to start your college education, we want to thank Northland Pioneer College for our inning sponsor. They have the lowest tuition in the state of Arizona, and they are now offering bachelor degree programs in education and business. Trig Finch hits a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, a foul ball for strike 1. Finch led off the game with a rocket single and came around to score the first run of that 7-run first inning. The ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. And then the last inning, Round Valley went a quick 1, 2, 3. In the bottom of the first, White Mountain Apache scored 3. And then last inning also you just saw went 1, 2, 3. And now Finch behind on that one, down in a whole 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tedeshosh on the hill for White Mountain as he is settling in as he came in relief in that first inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch. That is ball high, full count to the leadoff hitter in the Round Valley lineup and leading off the 3rd inning, Trig Finch. Here's the pitch, and that is ball 4 as Finch leads off the 3rd with a walk. Majors Division, 11 and 12-year-olds that play in this division. So these kids are the ones that are the future for their high schools coming up. That ball's inside. for Carson Crick. Crick was hit by a pitch and scored in the first.
And the Round Valley coach was talking about how them being so young, being 12 years old, it can be hard to keep them focused. So that was one goal they had for today, is just staying focused on the game.
Crick swing and a miss there. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I've watched a few T-ball games this year for a granddaughter, and you talk about trying to keep kids focused. This
Right.
one's a little bit different. They're a little older, and you're hoping now as Tedesco tries to throw the ball to second, as there was a sacrifice bunt attempt, and now we're going to come all the way around and score. Crick on his way to second, and he is safe.
That was a great play off of a bunt.
Yeah, that was just going to be a sacrifice bunt. There's a replay of Finch coming across the score. So we're going to give a single for Crick, and then everyone advancing and scoring on the throwing air. So I would assume 12-year-old, hopefully you're still, I mean, you're a little more focused, especially with All-Stars. Okay, we have a dead ball. Looks like we're going to have catcher's interference. Catcher's interference as the bat, that pencil bat, if you can see the bat that the umpire's picking up, looks like a pencil from school. Catcher's interference for Noah Puzis. So Noah reaches first. It's just a dead ball. So he's at first base. So catcher's interference. Carson Crick stays at second base, and now that's going to bring up Wade Webb. And Webb had a rocket double back in the first and an RBI. There's a strike one called on the inside corner to Webb. Webb putting his name in the hat for that Horn Auto Center drive of the game. Fastball to the backstop. Both runners are going to move up, as now Webb has two runners in scoring position. There's the windup and the pitch. Late on that one from Webb for strike two. We got a few guys in the running for our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Player of the Game, and they've got the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting gear in the White Mountains. Go check them out. They're on the right-hand side of the road of Highway 260 as that run comes across and scores on the wild pitch as Crick scores, and Noah moves up to third. Again, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, right-hand side of the road just before you get to the Honda Resort and Casino. And there's a rocket down the right field line, past the right fielder. Webb on his way to third. He touches third, and he's coming home, and that is an inside the park home run for Noah Webb. And Webb just adds to it for that Horn Auto Center drive of the game. There's two RBIs on the home run.
A home run like that is so fun to get when you're able to beat the ball home.
Inside the, absolutely. Actually, an inside the park Comfort Fit Dentures home run. Smile, Comfort Fit Dentures. And that brings up the pitcher, Reed Whitaker. Whitaker behind on that one for a strike. Whitaker singled and scored in that 7-run first. Ball past the catcher as a wild pitch. Have 2 balls, 1 strike the count. There's ball in the dirt for ball 2. 11-3 now is our score. Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches from White River. Round Valley's put up 4 here in the top of the third. There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball for strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. Again, top of the third. Round Valley is the visiting team tonight. They are up 11-3. They scored 7 in the first. White Mountain Apaches came back with 3 of their own, and now Round Valley putting up 4 here in. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a walk for Whitaker. As the ball gets the backstop, and he's on his way to second. Oh, he quickly returns as the catcher got it back to the pitcher in a hurry. As it looks like they're going to get a courtesy runner. It's the last out of the last inning, which would be Peyton. Should be Peyton Finch. Should be Peyton Finch, and he's going to come out and run for the pitcher, Whitaker. And that now brings up Ace Finch. Finch 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout swinging. No outs here, top of the third. There's ball 1 high. Again, Round Valley leads 11-3. Kedisho steps off the rubber. Finch is squaring around, looking to bunt here. They only play 6 innings. Here's the bunt attempt, and yes, he went. Peyton on his way to second, and he is out on the stolen base attempt as he is thrown out.
That was a good throw by that pitcher, or by that catcher.
Great throw, great tag. Second baseman blocked the base a little bit. Good thing they don't have replay like in college, or we'd have umpires sitting in our booths looking at obstruction rules and everything else, and just miss the old-fashioned baseball, softball. Let them block a bag a little bit. Right. Either you get taken out or you're out. It's one or the other.
Right.
3 balls, 1 strike the count here to Ace Finch. As Finch hits one over to right in the second base. The second baseman ranges a little bit over to his left, battling a little bit of the sun, and that is going to be out number 1 on that fly out to the second baseman.
Batting number 20, Jet.
Or sorry, that is out number 2, as Whitaker was out number 1, or Whitaker's position, for Peyton Finch was running for him on the 2-4 put out, and that's going to bring up Jet Finch. Finch walked and scored in that first, and there's a ball hit through that 3-4 hole into right field, and it's past the right fielder. Jet on his way to second. Jet on his way to third, and he's going to come around. Ball gets past the second baseman, gets past the shortstop, and Jet Finch with the single, and then I'll say it, the Little League home run. We'll give Comfort Fit Dentures the Little League home run right there. As the ball single and then a few errors with Jet Finch scoring. And there's strike 1 called to Asher Rogers. Rogers walked and scored the 7th run in that first inning. We have, looks like second base is off the mark again. Umpire's going to kick the dirt out of the way and get that safety bag back down. We got a couple people in the running for that Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, call Deemer's Glass at 1-888-GLASSMAN. They are in Lakeside, and they are hands down the best price for quality glass at affordable prices. There's ball high to Rogers to even it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rogers also swinging that pencil bat. Painted up like a pencil. strike called on that inside corner. I'm sure if you hit the ball on the eraser part, it's not going to feel very good.
Definitely not. Send a shock up your arms and your hands.
There's a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. It is now 12-3 Round Valley here in the top of the third. Round Valley had that 7-run spot in the first, and now they've put up 5 here in the third. There's ball high, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Asher Rogers. Again, this is the major division hosted here in Round Valley for the All-Stars. On this side of the bracket, we have Round Valley, White Mountain Apaches from White River. We have Pine Top Sholo group. We have Silver Creek from Sholo and Taylor, or Snowflake and Taylor, and then St. John's are the 5 over here as Rogers goes down swinging for out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the third. Round Valley leads White Mountain Apaches 12-3. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Major All-Stars here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Major All-Stars presented by Sholo Ford here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com. Opening game here for the tournament here in St. John's as the Round Valley Elks are the visitors tonight against the White Mountain Apaches, and Round Valley leading 12-3 here.
Batting number 22, Connor.
Going to the bottom of the third. Again, on the other side of the bracket, starting tonight, you have Flagstaff plays Winslow, and Holbrook plays Payson in Flagstaff. And then on the 30th, the 2 winners are 2 undefeated teams, one from each side of that each of those brackets will meet here at 7:30 for that winner's bracket final. Leading off is Connor. Connor, number 22 for the White Mountain Apaches. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. And there's a ball hit off the handle. Whitaker comes off the mound, throws it over to first for out number 1.
That was a great play. He came up and attacked that ball, made sure to get it in time to throw it to first base, get him out.
Yeah, great play, great throw.
Batting
Didn't
number
rush
4,
it.
Bentley.
And that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Bentley. Bentley was hit by a pitch in that first inning, first pitch of the game. Took one on the shoulder and then came around and scored. As that is ball 1 outside. Whitaker with the windup and the pitch. Big swing there from Bentley for strike 1. Again, White Mountain Apache scored 3 in the bottom of the first and then went 1-2-3 in the second, while Round Valley scored 7 in the first, went 1-2-3 in the second. There's a rocket, an absolute missile past the third base bag by Bentley and all the way to the fence, and Bentley's gonna trot on in with a stand-up double.
It was beautifully placed on the line. Those ones are always a little bit nerve-wracking to see if they're going to go in or out.
Body number
But that one
15,
stayed
Hunter.
in play.
Yeah, not only did it go over the bag, it even landed in fair territory after being fair over the bag.
Right.
And Bentley throws his name in for that glass-shattering hit of the game, and now Hunter B hits one off the shortstop. What a play as the shortstop for Round Valley. I gotta find his name. Connor Crick takes the bad hop, stays in front of it, bounces
Batting
off
number
his shoulder.
17, Tadash.
He picks it up and throws a laser across the diamond to retire Hunter B for out number 2. Bentley does move up, and there's a ball driven deep to right field, and that ball is gone. That is Tedijosh. We talked about the wind here in St. John's blowing from left field to right, and Tedijosh gets one up in the jet stream. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if that one needed a jet stream. That was a rocket by Tedijosh for a Comfort Fit Dentures home run. Smile, Comfort Fit Dentures.
That was the first home run we've had over the fence, which is super fun. Our other the 2 home runs were still in the park.
Yeah, we've had one legit inside the park home run. We've had the so-called Little League home run with a single and a couple errors.
Right.
And then now the first legit over the fence bomb by Tedijosh. And now Cedric comes up. Cedric down 0-2 as Cedric in that first inning hit a rocket double with 2 RBIs. That one gets him. I don't know if that got him on the helmet or the bat. Looks like it got him on the bat for a foul ball as he ducks out of the way, and the bat saved him from getting hit and reaching first base. That one might have hurt. That ball's in the dirt for ball 1. Cedric, Tedijosh. We have a few from Round Valley. Their names in that hat for that Deemer's glass-shattering hit of the game. We also have our Horn Auto Center drive of the game. And Tedijosh might have just wrapped that one up with that Comfort Fit Dentures home run.
It was a beautiful, beautiful hit.
2 balls, 2 strikes. It's now 12-5 Round Valley over the White Mountain Apache tribe from White River as Cedric ducks out of the way of that one. Kind of does the splits to make sure he doesn't get hit in the head. He's moving his legs, stretching his legs out. Whitaker with the full count pitch, windup and delivery, as that is in the dirt for ball 4, and Cedric reaches first. We've got 2 outs, runner on first here in the bottom of the 3rd. Again, it is 12-3.
51, so for 2 days I gotta switch him now, right?
We're gonna get looks like we might be getting a pitching change as the Round Valley coach is asking about the pitch count. Whitaker is at 51 pitches, he was told, which means he would then be on a 2 days rest. So they're looking ahead. If they can continue with the win today, they can use him later on in this tournament, looking at that Saturday winners bracket final. So we're gonna get a pitching change. We're gonna step away here. It is 12-5 Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches here in the bottom of the 3rd. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, as they are hosting this first round Little League All-Stars for the major division. It's presented this by Sholo Ford on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Round Valley up 12-5. Here in the bottom of the third as Carter comes up. Carter reached on an error in this first inning as there's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball for strike one. Cedric on first as he just walked. We had a Comfort Fit Dentures home run by Tedejos. That was a 2-run homer over the right field fence. And here's the pitch. There's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball for strike two. I'm gonna try to see what number this is for Round Valley to see who's pitching now. Number 20 for Round Valley is pitching, and that is Jet Finch. As Finch gets a strike out, ball in the dirt, drop third strike, catcher tags him. And that's going to do it here in the bottom of the third. We're going to the top of the fourth. 12-5 is our score. Round Valley over White Mountain Apaches. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Show Low Ford. Show Low Ford has the best deals. Not only does Show Low Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Show Low Ford sells the best at the best price. Show Low Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at showlowford.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share? You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
One is live.
Welcome back to Round Valley, Arizona, or St. John's, Arizona. I apologize to St. John's as this is Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067, iTalk1067.com. Round Valley is playing here in this tournament, and they are playing the White Mountain Apaches, and they are leading 12-5.
William.
You're listening to Little League All-Stars presented by Show Low Ford and iTalk 1067 FM, KNKI Pine Top, Show Low and 102.5 in Pine Top, a Copenhagen communications station. As there's a ball driven into right field as the leadoff hitter William McBride leads off the top of the fourth with a single. And if you're looking to lead off or get started with your college education, do it with the hometown college with the lowest tuition in the state. They're now offering bachelor degree programs in education and business. That's Northland Pioneer College. That's a strike one called in the outside corner to Bennett DeWitt. DeWitt walked in the first and then was stranded. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for the White Mountain Apaches. As the ball hit right back to him, he flips it over to first as DeWitt will be retired, and Asher Rogers moves up to second. I believe it's number 12.
Batting number 2, Elias.
And I don't have the number 12. It might be Elias for White Mountain Apaches. And he is going to be pitching to Elias Baca. Baca went down swinging in the first, so 0 for 1 on the day. And he hits one over the shortstop, not over the shortstop's head, as the wind kind of made it die down. And the shortstop reaches up and snags one over his head for out number 2.
Batting number 44, Paxton.
Line out to the shortstop, and that's going to bring up Paxton Elmer. Elmer grounded out to third in the second. Our only left-handed hitter in the game today. They're fixing that base again at second as they have these safety bags that just pop off a little platform. It's not really Velcro, but it's kind of Velcro. And they've had some problems with it today. Here's a square round to bunt. He gets a nice bunt down. And pitcher jumps off the mound, makes the play, and that should be out number 3 as it is, as there's Paxton Elmer retired on the 1-3 putout. And again, Round Valley goes 1-2-3 after scoring. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. Round Valley leads the Apaches from White River 12-5. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com. Round Valley, the visitors, against the White Mountain Apaches from White River. Round Valley leading 12-5 here, going to the bottom of the 4th. Round Valley put up 7 in the first, went 1-2-3 in the second, put up 5 more in the third, and then just went 1-2-3 again. White Mountain Apaches have scored 3 in the first, went 1-2-3 in the second, and scored 2 in the third. And that's going to bring up Hunter T. Hunter had a single in the first, as he is now 1 strike the count on that Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Again, on the hill for Round Valley in relief is Jet Finch, as Reed Whitaker reached his pitch count, as there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball for his 2 days rest, as the coach was asking the official scorer here what his pitch count was. He was at 51 pitches. So now that allows a 2 days rest so he can come back on Saturday. There's a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Again, 12-5 here. Round Valley over White Mountain Apache. There's a ground ball over to third. Past the backhand of the third baseman. And Hunter T with another single to lead off the bottom of the 4th.
Batting number 8, DeMarcus.
That's always stressful when you've got 2 strikes on you and you know that the pressure's on. But he did a great job there. Nice hit.
Yeah,
on
Hunter
third
T
baseline.
barreled up that one. There's another one barreled over the shortstop. Throw to second base for out number 1. Over to 2, and that one pulls the runner off, or pulls the first baseman off, as DeMarcus hits into the fielder's choice for out number 1, as Hunter T is retired at second.
99, Taft.
And DeMarcus reaches first base, as the first baseman couldn't keep his foot on the bag. And that's going to bring up number 99, Tough. Best name and number in the game today. Tough went down swinging in the first. There's a ball in the dirt for 2 balls, no strikes. There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball for strike 1. Opening game, opening round here for the 11 and 12-year-old Major Division All-Stars. Game 2 coming up at 7:30 tonight will be Silver Creek from Snowflake Taylor facing off against the hometown host St. John's Redskins. As we've got a 2-ball, 2-strike count. That ball is low for ball 3. Full count to Tough with Jet Finch on the hill. Jet's working quick from the stretch. Comes set and delivers. And that is ball 4 as Tough reaches first base. DeMarcus goes over to second. And then tomorrow, folks, we're right back here at 5 o'clock for a losers bracket winner go home game between the two teams that lose tonight, and then the two teams, and then it would be as a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball, and then the winner of Silver Creek and St. John's will play the Mountain Pines team, which is made up of kids from Show Low and Blue Ridge area, as they have the first round bye. And there's a check swing back to Finch through the legs of Finch, and he is out at first as a runner slowed down instead of running through the base. Our tough, or not tough, our Velo thrown out at first.
That was a great recovery by the pitcher. It fell between his legs and went back and got it fast. He didn't give up on the play, and it worked out.
Definitely didn't give up, because he could have easily given up as that ball squeaked through his legs, but he quickly got back to it and then made a great throw to first base to retire our Velo, and that's going to bring up Elias. Elias struck out swinging in the second inning. 2 outs here. There's a strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Again, it is 12-5 here, Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches in the bottom of the 4th. That ball is outside for ball 3. 3-1 the count. Oh, no, umpire says 2-2 is the count. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Finch, and there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. Jet Finch on the mound in relief for Round Valley as they lead 12-5. Here's the pitch, and there's a ball hit high into the air. Second baseman back, and it is in no man's land as it falls in between the second baseman and the right fielder, and then everyone just kind of looks around, and then the right fielder throws it back to the pitcher. It gets by Finch and bounces off the third base dugout. 2 runs are going to come around and score for the White Mountain Apaches on that. So it's going to be a single for Elias and an RBI, and then an error for the other run that comes across. Elias makes it over to second. It is now 12-7, and we're going to get another pitching change as the Round Valley coach asking about pitch counts and no rest now, so Finch can come back tomorrow. So we're going to step away. Round Valley leads White Mountain Apaches from White River 12-7 here in the bottom of the 4th. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Are you underwater on your trade and you're wondering what it's worth? Well, come on in and let us make the process easy. We will appraise your trade, give you the most for it, and now has never been a better time to trade your vehicle for a newer pre-owned vehicle here at Horn Auto Center.
I have bought 6 cars from Horn Auto Center. They always have a great deal, and they always take care of me and don't pressure me in any way of getting something that might not work best for me or my family. This would be the only place I would actually go in Show Low.
We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, as they are the host of the Little League All-Stars, presented by Show Low Ford here on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Ace Finch coming in relief here in the bottom of the 4th for Round Valley. Round Valley leads White Mountain Apaches 12-7 as the Apaches have put up 2 here in the 4th. And Round Valley trying to work their pitching staff with the pitch count here in Little League. So their starter is on a 2-day pitch rest. Their reliever that just left is on now no days. And there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball as Ace Finch coming in the game throwing hard. As Kyron is now up with 2 outs here. Kyron went down swinging in the second, so he's 0 for 1 on the day. Ace Finch out of the stretch and delivers, and that one is just blown right past Kyron for strike 2. Actually, Ace is coming in here with a great name and throwing gas.
Yes, he's got a great arm.
Fastball up and out for ball 1.
He's done a great job of keeping his speed up.
Ace Finch just coming into the game here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, and throws it by Kyron for out number 3. We're going to the top of the 5th. Round Valley leads White Mountain Apaches 12-7. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
They're making some good stuff with Midland, man. They really are.
Two's live.
Yeah, I joked, like I sent the group, I said, hey, how's everybody feel about buying their own Midland radios? Like, I don't even work at the power plant. Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, as they are host of the Little League All-Stars, presented by Show Low Ford on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Round Valley, the visitors against the White Mountain Apaches here in the first game of the tournament. Round Valley coming to bat here in the top of the 5th, leading 12-7 as the White Mountain Apaches went down 7-0 after the first inning and have made a run and battled back and just answered each inning that Round Valley has scored. They have answered themselves as there's ball 1-2. Let's see, Carter Curtis leading off for Round Valley. Curtis went down swinging in the second, as that ball is up and in for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 5th. Strike 1 called. 2 balls, 1 strike. If you're looking to start your college education, do it at Northland Pioneer College. Lowest tuition in the state, and they are offering bachelor degree programs in education and business. That's a ball up and out. 3-2 the count. Wind up and the pitch. Swung and missed for out number 1 as Curtis goes down swinging. And that's going to bring up Peyton Finch. Finch grounded out to the pitcher in the first as his only other at-bat. Finch digs in on the right-hand side. Here's the windup and the pitch. Strike 1 called on that outside corner. In the Little League only plays 6 innings, so we're winding down here. There's a ground ball hit to the second base. The second baseman makes a nice pick as the first baseman is off the bag. Second baseman does a great job there by picking the ball and getting it into his glove, and then he throws it over to the first baseman. The first baseman, his leg is on the backs, the right-hand side, the right field side of the bag, and now there's a discussion. Yep, and he is safe as the White Mountain Apaches coaches have asked if there was a leg on the base, and says no. And now we've got some coaches not happy. Again, we've got a kid helping out here. Looks like one of the high school kids helping out that does some stuff. We do have Quinn Ashton behind the plate. So they're trying to get some kids some experience. As there's a wild pitch there as Peyton is going to reach, go now over to second base. And that's going to bring up Trig Finch. Trig 1 for 1 on the day with a single, walk, and 2 runs scored as he swings through that one for strike number 1. Runner on second, 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th, Round Valley leads White Mountain Apaches 12-7, and there's a bullet just foul losing my train of thought here, for a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball. Finch scolded that one, just foul down the third base line. Thing sounded like a rocket, and it was just this loud strike as Finch goes down swinging for out number 2.
Batting number 7, Carson.
And that's going to bring up Carson Crick. Crick hit by a pitch and scored in the first, and then singled and scored in the third. So he is 1 for 1 on the day. As that one, he ducks out of the way of that one. As now Finch, Peyton Finch, moves over to the third. Again, Round Valley, runner in scoring position. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Round Valley leads White Mountain Apaches 12-7. Here's the pitch. Ball up and out to Crick. 2 balls, no strikes to the number 2 hitter in the Round Valley lineup. There's a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Again, Round Valley has 14 players in their lineup today, and they will just do defensive switches throughout the game, but everybody is hitting, and the White Mountain Apaches have 12, and they will do the same as they can just move people around. There's another big swing and a miss. Snap throw down the third, and they've got a runner, and the ball is dropped at home as they had Crick, or had Finch picked off at third, and he comes home and the ball ends up low in the dirt, as now it is 13-7. Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches from White River.
Plays like that are always hard.
They are.
Making sure you don't mess anything up, and then making sure you watch the ball all the way to your glove and you don't tag down too soon.
Yeah, great snap throw down the third, and then the throw back home was just a little underthrown, and the catcher just with that mitt just couldn't pick it, as there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. Full count to Carson Crick. Round Valley's got 1 across, making it 13-7 here in the top of the 5th. And there's a ball driven out to center, over the center fielder's head. 1 hops the center field fence. Crick on his way to second with a stand-up double. Crick putting his name in the hat for that Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store Horn Auto Center drive of the game.
That was beautiful, all the way to the back fence. Was able to get a double on that. Super, super fun stuff.
Yeah, these kids have put on a show so far. Both teams hitting some rockets around the yard. And that's going to bring up Noah. Who's this? Noah, double and an RBI, and then a home run. He's the one that had the inside the park home run. So 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person. That's Wade Webb. Puzis has a single and scored, and then he had catcher's interference and scored. So he is 1 for 1 on the day. 1 ball, 1 strike the count, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Round Valley leading White Mountain Apaches 13-7, as there's another wild pitch over the catcher's head.
He's got that pencil bat on him.
As Crick moves over the third. And yes, this pencil bat, we've seen it in the MLB with the wood bats that they've kind of painted to look like a number 2 pencil. And there's another wild pitch. Crick coming across to score, and Crick now makes it 14-7. Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches. So this pencil bat, there's a couple guys in the MLB that kind of got the idea and had the Louisville Slugger make a bat, or whatever company it is that they use, that looked like a pencil, got an eraser on the top. And then of course there's a wild pitch again, and that's going to be a walk, as Noah's on his way to second, as that ball's at the backstop, and that's a great throw. Great throw down the second from the catcher, and Noah is going to be thrown out as he walks, and then is thrown out at second for out number 3. And we'll get back to the pencil bat as we're going to the bottom of the 5th. Round Valley leads the White Mountain Apaches 14-7. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Live to 2.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars here on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com. Opening game of the opening round of the Little League All-Stars Major Division here in St. John's. Round Valley taking on the White Mountain Apaches from White River, and it is 14-7. Round Valley in the lead going to the bottom of the 5th. Trying to find the bracket. Here's the Arizona State Little League All-Stars. We've got the top half of the bracket is Round Valley and the White Mountain Apaches. Game 2 tonight, right after this one. Silver Creek, the boys from Snowflake and Taylor, take on the hometown St. John's Redskins. And then the winner of that will take on White Mountain Pines tomorrow night at 7:30. White Mountain Pines, kids from Sholo area and Pine Top at 7:30. And then our 5 o'clock game tomorrow right here will be the loser of this game versus the St. John Silver Creek loser. We'll be in that loser's bracket tomorrow night. Here's the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th, and that's a strike 1-2. Connor 0 for 1 on the day as he grounded back to the pitcher in the 3rd. Connor in a 0-2 count. And on the hill, Ace Finch in relief, and he has come in and done nothing but throw gas as that one got past the catcher and caught Mr. Quinn Ashton in the mask, and the catcher immediately turns around and looks at Quinn with big eyes like, dude, I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
That's always a scary part about being umpire and standing behind.
I will say
that catcher.
It does hurt. And there is strike 3 as Connor goes down looking for out number 1. I've umpired a little bit more of the softball side with high school, and yeah, it hurts. It's not much fun.
Despite the name softball, it is not a softball.
It's not soft at all. Now coming to the plate is Bentley. Bentley with a rocket double in the 3rd and scored. Hit by a pitch in the 1st and scored. Bentley in the running for that Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. Again, if you need glass for your home or business, call Deemer's Glass at 1-888-GLASSMAN. There's ground ball hit the cricket. Short, backhanded play, throws it over to the 1st. What a play there. Crick flexing some muscles over there at short as Carson Crick made a couple great defensive plays as they finally get Bentley retired for the first time in the game as he has wreaked havoc on the Elks here tonight. And that's going to bring up Hunter B. Hunter 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to the 3rd baseman and then grounded out another defensive gem over there by Crick on the 6-3 putout in the 3rd. 14-7 is our score here, Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches, as there's a strike called and 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Hunter B. Bottom of the 5th, we got 1 inning left as there's 6 innings played in Little League, as there's a big swing and a miss as Ace Finch throwing gas here in relief, trying to close this thing out for the Elks. Here's the windup and the pitch as Hunter B ducks out of the way at that one, trying to save his head. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. here again, 14-7 as the Round Valley Elks have doubled up the White Mountain Apache boys from White River. And they haven't gone down quietly. The White Mountain Apaches have laced together some hits, some absolute rockets. They do have a Comfort Fit Dentures home run. As I'm going to go through my book, is that one out to left field, and that wind's going to hold it up. Left fielder makes a nice play. We'll get back to that Comfort Fit Dentures home run here in a second as Hunter B flies out to left field for out number 3. We're going to the top of the 6th. Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches 14-7. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona. And Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars here on iTalk 1067, iTalk1067.com. Opening round, opening night, opening game of this tournament here of the Majors Division as the host St. John's Redskins, offering up their beautiful facilities here in St. John's. First game, Round Valley here hosting or visiting team with the White Mountain Apaches out of White River. Round Valley leads 14-7 in the top of the 6th, as this will be the last inning in this contest. Game 2 coming up right after this will be the boys from Silver Creek out of Snowflake and Taylor taking on the host Redskins here from St. John's. I expect a packed house here for that one, as here's the first pitch. Strike one called to Wade Webb. Webb, 2 for 2 on the day. A double and an RBI. There's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball. And then an inside the park 2 RBI Comfort Fit Dentures home run. We did have a Comfort Fit Dentures home run on the other side that went out of the park from Tedejos from the White Mountain Apaches. He had a 2 RBI absolute bomb over the right field fence. Here's the 2-2 pitch, as that one is called strike 3 on that inside corner. Webb jumped out of the way thinking that it was inside, and it was right there on the corner for a called strike 3. And that's going to bring up Reed Whitaker. Whitaker 1 for 1 on the day, as he singled and scored in the first and then walked in the third. As there's ball 1 to Whitaker. Whitaker started the game on the hill, pitched great, in line for the win, and then with pitch counts, Round Valley coaches trying to work on keeping kids fresh as this tournament goes on throughout the week. There's strike 1 called, 1 ball, 1 strike to Reed Whitaker. 14-7 is our score here, Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches, as there's ball 2 here in the top of the 6th.
It's been fun to see all the big hits that have come from both teams. Both coaches talked about how that had been a goal of theirs for their team, to just come out swinging hard, and I feel both teams have done a great job. Big hits from both sides.
Oh, some big rocket hits. These 11 and 12-year-olds in the major division swinging the bat well. There's a ball hit into the dirt. Great play there by the pitcher from White Mountain Apaches. He flips over the first for out number 2, as Whitaker is retired. And now that's going to bring up Ace Finch. Ace 0 for 2 on the day, struck out swinging in the first and then flew out to second base in the third. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ball 1 outside to Finch. Let's see, pitching for the White Mountain Apaches is Elias, number 12. Elias on the hill in relief has come in and thrown really well the last couple innings, as there's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike, no runners on, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning for Round Valley. Round Valley leads the White Mountain Apaches 14-7. And here's the windup and the pitch. And there's another Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball for strike 2.
Did we lose the FX mic?
Here's the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. White Mountain Apaches coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th will be their last chance, as Little League games are only 6 innings. As there's a ball hit. Foul just out of the reach of the third baseman, Carter, for a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball. So on the other side of the bracket being played in Flagstaff, the winner of that bracket will make their way for the undefeated game here on Saturday. As we got Ace Finch wears one, and he's gonna trot on down to first as he is hit by a pitch. You have Flagstaff, Winslow, Payson, and Holbrook over in Flagstaff. And then they will all migrate themselves this way on Saturday for the losers bracket games and that winners bracket final. As there's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball. Again, Ashlyn, that one doesn't feel good when it's foul tipped right off the chest protector of the umpire.
Definitely not.
Here's the windup and the pitch. Nice pitch there, a little change up for strike 1. Or sorry, strike 2, as that first one was that Mountain Mobile Autoglass foul ball to Jet Finch. As Jet jumps out of the way of that one. Jet also came in relief through an inning and 2/3. And again, with the pitch count, he's now available tomorrow with no day's rest. As there's a ball hit over towards the first baseman. It's gonna fall. Pitcher actually runs over and makes a play and then steps on the base. He is called safe at first.
Batting number 0.
As that one was close. As the ball hit in front of the first baseman, he might have lost it in the sun. The pitcher ran over, caught it on a 1-hop, and then just couldn't beat the base runner to the bag on a close bang-bang play, and the base runner is called safe.
And we've seen that a lot from the White Mountain Apache pitchers. They've been very aggressive with their infielding. They are not afraid to get that ball and make the play.
No, very good, very athletic coming off the mound. And that now brings up Asher Rogers. Asher, 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Runners on first and second. And he swings through that one for strike 2. 14-7 is our score here, Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches. Rogers 0 for 1 on the day as he walked and scored in the first and then struck out swinging in the third. And now we have a three ball, and he's gonna walk to load him up as Asher Rogers trots on down to first. Not sure. Oh, we got a runner off at second, and now we got runners moving all over the place as the ball gets into the outfield past the shortstop. As it looks like Ace Finch comes across the score. Jet Finch moves up to third, and Asher Rogers over to second. And that now brings our score to 15-7, Round Valley over the White Mountain Apaches. And that's going to bring up William McBride. McBride 1 for 2 on the day with a single in the fourth, and struck out swinging in the first. And he takes that first pitch right down the middle for called strike 1. Snap throw over the third, safe at third is Jet Finch sliding in ahead of the tag. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. This is the last inning. His Little League only plays 6. And there's a ball hit into right off the glove of the second baseman as he tried to make a great backhanded play right over the second base bag. just off the glove, and he's holding his glove, telling his first baseman he should have had it. Great effort there by the second baseman from the White Mountain Apaches. Just bounced off the tip of his glove. As Rogers moves over to third, McBride with the single, and that's going to bring up Bennett DeWitt. DeWitt 0 for 1 on the day as he grounded out to the pitcher. There's a bunt attempt foul for Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, foul ball and strike one. And then Bennett walked in the first. There's a ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop's under it, and that is out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Last chance for the White Mountain Apaches as they trail 16-7 here to Round Valley. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Little League All-Stars presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Majors All-Stars, 11 and 12-year-olds over here in St. John's. Round Valley leads White Mountain Apache 16-7. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Last shot for the White Mountain Apaches as they trail 16-7. And we've got Tedejos leading off. Tedejos 2 for 2 on the day. Had a rocket double, and then had that
Batting number 17,
Comfort Fit Dentures blast over the right field wall for a home run. So he is 2 for 2, 2 rocket swings, and 2 runs scored as he takes first pitch from Ace Finch for ball 1. And there's ball 2 low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 6th. Tedejos, the leadoff hitter for the White Mountain Apaches as they trail 16-7. Last chance trying to keep their hopes alive as there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball and the big swing. Big kid here, big swings. Again, hits 2 rockets for his 2 for 2 day.
And Ace has done a great job of keeping the speed up on his pitch, so this is a fun matchup.
This is fun. Ace Finch in relief has a 3-1 count. I can't imagine he's pitching around Tedejos as they have a lead, big lead. He can't tie it up with one swing, but he's throwing hard as you can hear that mitt popping from the catcher, and Tedejos draws the walk to lead off the bottom of the 6th.
Batting number 69, Cedric.
And that's going to bring up Cedric. Cedric, rocket double and 2 RBIs with a run scored in the first and then walked in the third. There's a first pitch fastball called strike to Cedric. Ace Finch in relief trying to close this thing out for Round Valley. A ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on first. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Again, White Mountain Apaches trail 16-7 as this is their last effort to score. There's a big swing, foul tip right back into the mitt for strike 2 for Cedric. Waiting on deck is Carter. Third baseman, we've seen Carter flash the leathers. There's a ground ball to second base. Second baseman comes up, takes the easy, safe play as that was a wicked hop as this infield is taking a beating with all the runners in the base paths as that ball bounced up to the left of the second baseman. He makes a great play to throw out Cedric for out number 1.
That was a great play. He did a great job of watching the ball all the way to his glove. We've seen the ball kind of slip between his legs, so that was a great play that he had just there.
A good bounce back there, as he unfortunately did have an error a couple innings ago as one got through his legs. Bounce back. This game is it's a game of failures. You know, I tell people all the time, this is the only game, there's a fastball above the head of Carter for ball 1. This is the only game where you can fail and still make the Hall of Fame. Because if you hit 300, you're 3 for 10, you're making the Hall of Fame in the MLB. But that means 6 times you've failed, as there's a rocket from Carter into the right center gap. That's all the way to the fence. Carter with the RBI single, and the White Mountain Apaches are not done yet, as Tedejos comes around and scores. And Carter with that rocket single to the gap, and that's going to bring up Hunter T. Hunter 1 for 2 on the day. Or sorry, he's 2 for 2 on the day. He's had 2 singles, as there's a ball hit right to the second baseman. He's waving his arms. He's under it for out number 2. And now White Mountain Apaches down to their final out here in this opening game of the major all-star division for the boys. It is 16-8 Round Valley, as there's first pitch fastball outside to DeMarcus for ball 1.
That was a good stop by the catcher. Really reached out and grabbed that one before it could get behind him.
Ball in the dirt, or low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to DeMarcus. There's the windup and the pitch. A big swing and a miss for strike 1. Again, Ace Finch on the mound, throwing gas for Round Valley as they're looking to close it out here with leading 16-8. Nice pick there by the catcher. That one's in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. There's a strike called. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. White Mountain Apaches down to their final out, possibly their final strike, as they trail 16-8 here to Round Valley. And that ball is high, and they are still alive, as that is a walk for DeMarcus. Now they got runners on first and second, and they're going to check pitch counts again. And we're going to get another pitching change as Round Valley's working the pitch count, trying to keep kids fresh as this tournament goes on. So we're going to step away. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Round Valley leads White Mountain Apaches 16-8 here in the bottom of the 6th. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Welcome back to St. John's.
You have a vision,
here on iTalk 1067, iTalk1067.com. Bennett DeWitt coming in for Round Valley, trying to close this out for the Elks as they lead the White Mountain Apaches 16-8. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Runners on first and second for the White Mountain Apaches as they trail 16-8. And this is going to bring up the kid with one of the best names in the game, number 99, Tough. Bennett, first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Tough 0 for 1 on the day as he struck out swinging in the first and then walked and scored in the 4th. as he leans out of the way of that one for ball 2. Round Valley looking to close this out. Again, stick around. We'll have a new broadcast on YouTube for the next game between Silver Creek and the host St. John's Redskins coming up a few after this. Should start around 7:30 is what the bracket says. So we're looking to be on time. So check that out as there's ball 4 high and the bases are loaded. As Tuff moves over to first, DeMarcus to second, and Carter over to third.
Batting number 23, Arvlo.
And that's going to bring up Arvlo. Arvlo 0 for 2 on the day, struck out swinging in the second, and then grounded out the pitcher in the fourth, and he swings through that one for strike 1. He's got the pencil bat also, Ashlyn.
Yeah.
The ball to the backstop, not far enough, as it's now 1 ball, 1 strike to Arvlo.
That pencil bat for sure has gotten super popular.
Oh, it's
recently.
so cool. Again, I think it's going to hurt if you hit it off the eraser. It's going to sting the heck out of your hands, like you said earlier. But it definitely looks cool to have a number 2 big old pencil in your hands. Ball 2 outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, bases loaded for the White Mountain Apaches as they trail 16-8 here in the bottom of the 6th. And there is ball 3. As Bennett DeWitt in relief trying to close this thing out for Round Valley. There's a swing and a miss as he threw that one right down the middle, challenging Aurelio. And we are full count. 1 strike away from Round Valley, finishing this one up and advancing to the winner's bracket. As there's a ball hit out to right field, and the White Mountain Apaches say not yet. Aurelio with a single into right field, scoring 1 as Carter comes in to score. DeMarcus over the third, Tuff over the second, and Aurelio with the single and the RBI. And now that brings up Elias. Elias, big swing and a miss for strike 1. Bases loaded. You can hear the wind wailing out to right field. So again, anything up in the air, right center to right field has a chance to get out of here today as there's a called strike 2. We've already had 1 today. 1 Comfort Fit Dentures home run over that right field fence. There's a ball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 16-9 is our score. Round Valley over White Mountain Apaches here in the bottom of the 6th. And there's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass foul ball just into the bleachers, just past the first base dugout here at St. John's Little League Field.
That's always scary.
Definitely always
scary. You see a foul ball coming straight for your heads.
We do want to thank the Little League people over here in St. John's for allowing us to come over and broadcast this tournament for the next few days. As there's a ball hit to the first baseman. First baseman fields it, doesn't field it, as he bobbles it. And we're going to have another run score, and Elias is going to be safe on the air.
Batting number 2,
DeMarcus
Kyron.
comes across the score, and the White Mountain Apaches are not going away quietly. It is now 16-10 here in the bottom of the 6th. There's a strike 1 called to Kyron. Kyron 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts.
White Mountain Apaches have done a great job of keeping in this game. They have not given up, and they are going out fighting.
Absolutely, they have answered everything Round Valley's thrown at them. And now we got a runner coming home as a pitch the ball gets by. He is safe. Runners are moving up. The catcher threw it back to the pitcher. They got it past the pitcher. And now it is 16-11, and that is going to bring a mound visit from Round Valley coaches, as we've got runners on second and third, 2 outs, 1-1 count to Kyron, and the White Mountain Apaches not going away quietly as they trail 16-11 now. They have battled back from everything that Round Valley threw at him. Round Valley scored 7 in the first, 5 in the third, 2 in the fifth, and then 2 in the sixth. And White Mountain Apache have done nothing but answer. 3 in the first, 2 in the fifth, 2 in the fourth, and now 4 across in the sixth. As there's a ball driven deep to right field. Right fielder's under it, and he makes the play, and that's gonna do it. It is 16-11 is our final as Kyron flies out deep to right field for out number 3. We're gonna take a quick 30-second break, and we're gonna come back with our post-game awards here in St. John's as Round Valley defeats White Mountain Apache 16-11. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of Little League All-Stars on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
Welcome back to St. John's, Arizona, and the host of the Little League All-Stars presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 106.7, iTalk106.7.com. Brian Lang along with Ashlyn Smith. Ashlyn, exciting game as Round Valley wins 16-11 over the White Mountain Apaches, and we're going to get into our post-game awards. What do you got going for us first?
Right, so great play by both teams. First we have the Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy Cadillac and GMC store that saves you more.
Our Horn Auto Center drive of the game is going to Tedejos from the White Mountain Apaches, number 17. He had an absolute bomb over the right field fence. It was a Comfort Fit Dentures home run. So Tedejos is our Horn Auto Center drive of the game.
And next we got our Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass.
Give Deemer's Glass a call at 1-888-GLASSMAN, and that's going to go to Round Valley number 7, Carson Crick. Carson absolutely with a couple rockets, had a single in the third and scored, and then a missile double in the fifth and also scored. So Carson Crick, our Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game.
We've got our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store player of the game. The best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear in the White Mountains, located south of Pine Top on Highway 260, right-hand side off the road, just before you get to Honda Resort and Casino.
So for me, we're going to go players of the game. We're going to give it to the entire pitching staff of Round Valley. They were managed very well by their coach as far as the pitch counts to kind of keep people able to continue pitching throughout this tournament in the next few days, as the winner's bracket undefeated finals will be on Saturday. So we had starting the game was Reed Whitaker. We had Ace Finch in there. We had Jet Finch in there. And then getting the last out was Bennett DeWitt. So we're going to give our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports players of the game to those 4 guys and the pitching staff at Round Valley. So the fantastic. Go check out Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports on that right-hand side of the road before you get to the Honda Resort and Casino. That's going to do it for Game 1. Round Valley victorious 16-11 over the White Mountain Apaches. We've got Game 2 tonight coming up in about 30-ish minutes at 7:30 between Silver Creek, the boys from Snowflake and Taylor, taking on the host Redskins of St. John's. So it'll be a new link if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching on iTalk or listening on iTalk 106.7, just tune right back in. So that's going to do it for Brian Lang, Ashlyn Smith. Round Valley victorious 16-11, and you're listening to Little League All-Stars presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 106.7 FM KNKI Pine Top, Sholo, and 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopeniki communication station.
On iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical